Well, hey, welcome back to the show before the show, where I check to make sure everything is hunky-dory. And it appears to be. You have... So, I know the mic sync, there's been some issues with the Zoom F6 I use. And the microphones I use, right? The audio quality, while lovely, is just always out of sync. And it's either too fast or too slow relative to my motion, which has been absurd, like, because it hadn't been a problem up till this month. So, instead of using this very expensive recorder, we're going to be running a Rode Video Mic MTG through my camera, and I tested it prior to recording or doing this, perfectly in sync. But if it's not, then fuck it. No, if it's not, then, tell me about it, because I want to know. I need to know. But it seemed to be working perfectly fine, so I'm excited to break it in today. This is a new overhead mic for me. I bought it for some run-and-gun video projects. It's just really good scratch audio. Rode Video Mic MTG on top of the camera. Just a good way to provide decent scratch audio in case whatever you are actually recording is mucked up. But it's also a super capable microphone. Like, I'm genuinely surprised. It's actually coming in really hot too, so let me know if it's like too loud. I literally have it on the lowest setting and it's super loud. So that's really exciting. So I imagine the noise floor is really nice. The audio quality is really nice. How many of you are into audio? Is any of this interesting? How are you guys doing? I'm stoked for today. If I sound sick or even look ill, it's because I am, just mildly. When the Claritin I took didn't kick in, I'm like, oh, like I actually have a cold. That's what this is. Don't worry, I'm fine. Mac says howdy. Atticus Finch says howdy. And Casey says hello all. Howdy guys. It's funny, I use howdy as my welcoming phrase consistently, and it confuses my girlfriend, and it confuses me because I'm not from a part of the country where people generally say howdy. So I appreciate you all saying howdy to me. I use a Rode with my Canon ADD, and it's been great for the hobby, things I use it for. Luke, that's awesome. Yeah, it's so funny, dude. I've been shooting a lot of video projects with this group, and it's been requiring me to rethink my audio solutions for the types of shoots they need. So I wound up buying a Rode Rode Wireless Go 2 receiver set, and it's splendid. It's like, it's easy to set up, but two, the audio quality is superb. I'm genuinely surprised with like the omnidirectional mic built in, let alone putting a lavalier in the transmitter, right? So darn good. And obviously it's convenient because you can just plug it into your camera and go, hence the name. This NTG, though, has been phenomenal. I bought a cheaper solution just for on-camera audio, but I don't know. Anytime I buy something for myself, I ask, do I deserve better, or do I deserve this? And the answer is usually yes, right? So long as you feel like you're worth it, treat yourself to the nicest thing you can within reason. And personally speaking, of all the on-camera audio solutions, this one seemed the best, but it's also just really competent off-camera. You guys can't tell, but I have a boom arm on a handle that's on a C-stand that is rigged to the PR2G, like the pistol grip for the mic, and it's right above it's literally, it's right there. You can't see it. That's the beauty. That's the movie magic happening right now. But it sounded really good to me, so I hope it's good on your end. But no, I bought a bunch of Rode product, and I've not ever used Rode. For the money, it's like super good. If you ever needed like an on-camera microphone, folks, or if you just want to up your Zoom game, if you're doing a lot of Zoom meetings, these Rode mics are fantastic. Hey, Jens. Heyo. Kyle Gibberson says, hello, I'm good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Are you here for Nethroi, or are you here for Radha? I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty stoked for Radha. Grand Warlord Radha is one I've wanted to work on for some time. I've just never allowed myself the time. I barely have time to work on my own decks, so genuinely, these segments are like my favorite thing because it just gives me an opportunity to do the thing I enjoy. and hopefully provide something meaningful or enjoyable for you guys. Sounds great on my end. Casey, yes. Oh, so good. Again, like I have it as low as it goes, and it's like looks like it's peaking. So I'm gonna take that as a good sign. Yeah, but I'm loving it so far. It's a super competent microphone, and the battery life on it's insane too. There's like a few technical niggles I have with it, but all in all, it's superb for sub $300. All right. Sounds great. I do too, and a very white boy in Ohio, and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in California and Hawaii, so why I say howdy is, I don't know, maybe I watched some old spaghetti western or something, and it really caught on. I feel like I might have been influenced as a child, and unbeknownst to me, or like just trapped in my memory banks, there was some dude saying howdy in a movie that got me to say it. Anyway, we'll delve into my psyche on another video. Would that be fun? Michigan here, so don't rightly know where it came from. Jen's kid, I'm on a real poopy internet at work, and everything seems synced. Wow, that's good. Yeah, it'll generally be on my like transmitting end, you know, like what's going out to the internet. And I found that from all the solutions I've tried, just having the audio hooked to the camera is going to provide a perfect sync, or it should. You know, obviously the length of your cable makes a difference. It's obnoxious because I have a very long cable attached to it. It was like the Rode-based product. But if your audio signal is traveling through a long cable, there may be the chance of some degradation due to like radio frequencies. It's weird, like if it's an unbalanced TRS cable like this. But also the length of it means that it's traveling a great distance. Even though it's traveling very quickly, it might seem like it's slightly delayed. I've spent hours researching this shit, like off cam. I know too much about these audio things that I did not want to know. But because I've been wanting to do these live streams, I've been wanting to get them perfect. I've literally looked up everything to ensure that it's perfect. Trust me. I hate getting in the comments where it's like, it's out of sync. I'm like, yes, I know it's out of sync. I'm trying, I promise. Anyway, I'm here for Radha because I want to see some spice. Yeah, Gabe, Grand Warlord Radha, I feel like she's got a lot. She's got more than 2 legs to stand on. She's a veritable tripod. I don't mean that in a weird way either. She's got legs to stand on because like it's a super competent effect. It's like a very good effect on a legendary in the command zone. So, you know, clearly it wants to combo out. It wants to do something. And today we're going to be looking at 2 lists that have, you know, they're self-made. And I'm just here to help guide them the right direction, provided I know how to guide Nethroi the right direction. Nethroi is like a tricky one indeed. Oh my god. Okay. Change of the season. I think it's that. It always happens to me. What's your day job? For the longest time, it was just YouTube content. And there's been a balance between doing this and freelance work. And it's interesting. This actually leads into something I want to have a longer conversation on the channel for. But our Patreon members know it already. I'm planning on shifting everything to being live streamed here so I can give myself more time to work in other fields. But generally speaking, I'm doing video work for other companies. And that includes, it's a full production, right? Like I gotta record the audio, the video clearly, any imagery that goes with it. Other assets like little digital assets that appear in the videos, that's on them. And I also edit it all together. And then if they don't like certain aspects, I'll edit something else together. But that's what I do. It's fun. It's really fun. It's just extremely demanding. Like the more, I'm doing it a lot more now. And that's why, you know, I had a shoot yesterday, and that's why this was pushed to today. Generally, these happen Tuesdays, and I would prefer it happen that way, but that was when that was like the only time that worked for my client. I think it was then or Thursday, and I need time Thursday to do something else. So, yeah, we'll see. Moving forward, I'm looking to get a fuller part-time job doing videography, so, you know, my time for the kind of content I've been providing here is going to shift, but this is a full-time job, like over the last year. It takes a lot of effort to solo everything you see on this YouTube channel, especially when there was you know, three episodes a week with the live stream, the YouTube short, and then the weekend content. It was a lot. But I much prefer live streams in general, so that's why I'm guiding it that way. But two, it's also just, it just helps me so much so I can get sleep at night. I can focus on work that's paying far more, and then obviously be able to provide something that I find entertaining to you guys, right? Or at least I'm trying to provide content that I think I would enjoy. Hopefully this is useful or entertaining for you. But that's the day job, just freelance videography. I wouldn't recommend it unless you really enjoy it. You'd probably just get a stable job somewhere with like a 401k. Like, do something, be smart. Hey, Pat, I think I left out a Snoop line, but Conspicuous Snoop. So Jens is actually one of the decks we'll be looking at today. I think Jens is Grand Warlord Radha. Jens is Grand Warlord Radha. But that's his deck. That's his baby. So if the deck we look at in just a moment is lacking, we can obviously add in a Snoop line. A Conspicuous Snoop, in case you guys are wondering. There's really just one Snoop we think of, and that's the one. But let me see. Sorry. Nethroi piles seem pretty self-explanatory. I'm here for Radha Spice. Yeah, Luke, it's like, with Nethroi, there's some cute things you can do with Nethroi. Like, there's that one demon that came out that makes it so that the power differential in your graveyard is like something absurd. So basically when Nethroi mutates, you can bring everything back. I forget the name of that creature. It's its own self-contained combo. But then again, you're really relying on like a large mass self-mill to mass reanimate strategy, but like that's kind of overkill. If you're really thinking about it, and maybe I did try to do this before with that strategy, and that's not necessarily the route that this deck is going. And let me just pull that up. Now I'm thinking about Charles, not the route Charles was going. And also Charles, it seems to be operating on a bit of a budget, so we're going to try to just work in easy 10 power or less combos in the graveyard, and there's a ton. So really this one just needs some refining, and then also the placement of, I'm assuming, maybe some affordable tutors, and also removal that might, for things that might hamper this general strategy. I've always been interested in your background. Could you explain the dragon? Okay. Hey, Eric. This thing? This is Diamond XO Cognac, and it's an Argentinian brand. I'm reading this all from the label. Not Argentinian, Armenian. But basically, this dragon is just this really great brandy. It's super good. It's got like a nice spice to it. I could probably use a shot of it right now, if I'm being honest. It's phenomenal. What's weird, though, is that the liquor doesn't come out of its mouth. It comes out of the butt end, the tail here. And the spout, it was not meant for pouring. Like, I feel like I've spilled as much of this as I've had to drink because of how the pouring has been implemented. And would I recommend you buy this bottle? Honestly, actually, yes. Like, the liquor itself is really good, but the pouring mechanism is awful. And the price was like, it was over $100-something. I was very spontaneous. I just did a gig. I had disposable income. Hey, would this be fun for the gang? And I personally bought this because initially when we were doing Brew Wars, I was thinking that folks could drink from the dragon. And then obviously COVID hit. And that didn't seem like a good thing to record, you know. Breaking bread with our brethren. But that was the idea. And now it's just a prop. I just have it there. I generally have my watch. I have like this. You see this? That's usually up there. I don't know why I put the shelf here. It just looked right. And then it was just been populated by random things. Like this. Another random thing. I opened on a live stream with Casually Competitive here on the channel. So if you want to watch gameplay, you can watch that. Okay. Radha has the fabled third leg. Yeah. Feels good, man. I like your shorts. I think they are funny. Derek, I like you. And I appreciate that you think my shorts are funny. Howdy. First time seeing a live stream for a deck tech. Stoked to see the action. TCG dude, you've come to the right place. I'm not sure anyone else does this. Does anyone else do this? Are they better than me? Tell me. You be honest. No, I'm curious. I don't know if anyone else does this. I enjoy doing these, though. Scourge of the Skyclave is the creature. Yeah, I'll pull that up. Can you hear me drinking? Do you enjoy that? Scourge of the Skyclave. Oh my god. Of the Skyclaves. Scourge of the Skyclave's power and toughness are each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. So, 20 minus 40 is a negative value. So you can actually apply a negative value to Nethroi's ability. It's very weird because it's power or less, right? So it's tracking the amount of power it's seeing from the grave. So if Scourge of the Skyclaves is one of the things it sees, like, I want that thing with negative 20 power. And that's like obviously the highest it could go, or the lowest, I suppose, in this instance. But if you do that, then that changes the total mathematical equation here. It's like, well, is it 10 now, or is it, you did negative 20, so, oh wait, I got all this stuff to work with now. So you can pull more out of your grave. It just depends on the highest life total on the field, right? Total among players. The highest life total among players. Yeah. Did I explain that right? Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. We can look at the card when we go to the camera. Will it be stacks or a bit like Neheb? Oh, Grand Warlord Radha. I feel like she deserves to go fast. Right? I do like the fact that Neheb has a draw utility. It's technically a rummage, right? You do break even. But I do like how that's attached to Neheb, and it's not requiring other bodies to be swinging. But I'll state that I'm looking for the remote for my AC. I'll state that it's not horrible that Grand Warlord Radha is missing the ability to effectively draw cards because she's in green. Like, you just get access to amazing creature tutors. So if there was a creature-based combo in there, you're going to get there. Which I can't say for red. I've seen too much Nethroi. I want to see something unique. Well, we'll make it short. 30 power. 30 power worth of stuff. I got the Tesla bottle. What's the Tesla bottle? Hold for this glorious AC to be turned on. The remote's all the way over there. Okay. So I put on this beautiful sweater you're seeing because it's been really cold all day in my studio and they haven't turned on the heat in the building. It's one of those buildings. So I'm melting right now. But it's been cold all day. I logically, maybe these lights aren't. Okay, we're good. But yeah, that's it. Is this it for the show before the show? Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? I'm going to open up a Save the Robots. Is it good for my cold? Probably not, but it'll help my mood. And that is super important to me. So if you want to drink with me some Radiant Pig craft beer or whatever you got at home, please do so. But yeah, if there's any other questions, feel free to hit me up. In the future, again, as I was mentioning, everything's going to be live stream. So if you enjoy these, the best way to help support this channel from here on out is if you like these videos, if you found them useful. The live streams get so little attention, but we do have a lot of concurrent viewers, so that would help me a whole lot. Thank you. Oh my god. Das says, D-A-S. I can't pronounce your full name, I'm sorry. Will the 99 be a bar one day where you can go and play Magic? Dream of mine would be to have a lounge. Maybe some of you might not know this. I used to bartend for a living. And I love serving cocktails and I love a good drink. But I would love to have a lounge where it was just craft drinks up front and then a larger event space in the back for everything beyond Magic. Right? So obviously there would be MTG days. But it'd be cool to have a lounge set up where folks could bring their own board games or borrow from a library to just sit, play, and relax with one another. I don't necessarily want to do food. That's a whole nother thing. Serving drinks is probably enough. But that would be a blast. And like themed drinks, obviously based around characters or for events on different board games or other card games that might be coming out. Yeah, I would love that. I grew up around comic and game stores, so Mixing those two things, my two loves, would be amazing. I would enjoy that so much. But no, that's not that's not in the cards yet. Papa's got to get a lot more work in before I can afford that. But I think with that, it's time to start. That's not a bad idea, magic and booze. It's kind of what this show's all about, right? Anyway, let's see if this makes this microphone peak. Welcome back to the 99, where we're focused on brewing a better competitive commander. I'm your host, Patrick Marlett, and this is Brewmaster, where I take the list of our Patreon members and try to perfect them for you live. And now, this isn't a solo job. I'm going to rely on you all to help me out along the way. And of course, I have a short list of requests from our Patreon members on this. Now, if you want to have your decks reviewed, at least for now, the way I'm doing it is with Patreon and YouTube membership, where YouTube members can suggest which list they would like to see, and it goes up to a poll. Or if you're a Brewmaster on the Patreon, of course, I just take a look at the list you want, or build a list from scratch. And the days where there are lists that are pre-composed, is that a word? I do too. So hopefully within those 2 hours, we'll be able to cover these two commanders flawlessly. But to start, let's go ahead and take a look at Nethroi. It seems like there's generally more interest for Radha. I'm sorry, Nethroi, but just admire the amazing art at least. It's fairly self-explanatory, but you're an Abzan, so you get to do some unique things here. Nethroi, Apex of Death. 2 generic, white, black, green. Nethroi legendary, cat, nightmare, beast. Couldn't have any more subtypes. But I guess that Animal Sanctuary would work on this, right? If you wanted to do that with Nethroi. Now, the most important part about Nethroi is the bottom effects, but we'll read off its mutate cost of 4 generic, white, green, double black, Death Touch, Lifelink, 5/5 body. Now, the way mutate works, and you can correct me if I've never played mutate. I've never actually played mutate. But the way I understand it is you cast it for the mutate cost, targeting a non-human creature, and you can place it on top or bottom, and it'll take on the stats of the one on top with the abilities of the one on bottom. I think that's how it reads. But then there are certain cards that just say, whenever something mutates, or when mutates, or like right here, right? Whenever this creature mutates, return any number of target creature cards with a total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I wish it didn't say target. But, I mean, that's fine. Anyway, so this is basically a reanimate package, a very expensive reanimate package. I suppose you could cast Nethroi early and have another creature mutate onto it, but all of the mutate creatures are very expensive. It's rather obnoxious how expensive it is to do this trick. But I do have a list of requests from Charles Ingrown, whose Nethroi list this is. And if you guys want to follow along, this is literally a copy and paste of said deck. So if you want to see it revised, or you want to just follow along, you can do so in the link in the description. Same story for the other legendary we'll be covering. And I guess I should mention this off the bat, I always forget. Everyone asks, like, where are the comments? If you've ever done a live stream on YouTube, it usually takes a good 24 hours before the live stream comments hit the page. So if you're watching this afterwards, just wait. I haven't been talking to myself, I promise. Charles Ingrown. Nethroi has many lines of play. The deck seems slow, and since there are so many combos, I think I get off track of which ones are the best choice. I want to try and not use stuff super expensive like Mox Diamond and other fast mana stuff. And it seems like Nethroi is the emergency button to get everything out of the graveyard, and I sometimes don't play him, and I win fast. Okay. Almost like Nethroi is not necessary. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think the deck needs more direction or a set plan. Or maybe I just need to play better. Charles, I'm sure it's got nothing to do with how you play. I'm sure you play perfectly. But that's the prompt. So I guess the first thing we should do is look at the average cost of Mox Diamond. I had Scourge of Skyclaves there. We can talk about it if you want. I feel like Mox Diamond's gonna be like a $500 card now. Oh my god, it's so much more. I got this one too. Look at me. I got money. Oh yeah, I'm rich. If you can avoid these cards, do, or just proxy them. But it seems like Charles Ingrown wants to own the deck. Very respectable. I'm going to assume that anything above 500 is out of budget, and even just 500 for a singular card is much. So things like Grim Monolith, things like this, we will omit. So if you guys are wondering if you jump in late, I'm not going to respond to those comments, but if someone's like, where's the Mox Diamond? We'll be like, well, we got a budget, bro. We got a budget to deal with. And here we have the list. But before I dive into the list, I'm going to check in with you guys to see your thoughts on Nethroi. Okay, when you said craft beer, I thought you said crap beer. I could have said that. I'm not confirming or denying what I said there. These are the best, honestly. It helps to see cEDH mindset when building decks. I think so too, or at least like a definite pathway for the list. Clearly defined play lines, and that's what is going to be interesting about Nethroi, in my opinion. Like, which avenue of approach we actually go for. So I just want to bring this up so we can have a complete overview of the deck. And we got Mana Crypt. I mean, Mana Crypt's actually been pretty affordable recently, right? So I'll use Mana Crypt as like the bar of expense. God, and they've gone back up. Again, I remember buying one of these Eternal Master ones for 200, which is not horrible, but it was up there for me at the time. I got one of these now. Love this one. But I guess $200 can be our cap for any singular card, because that's kind of the most expensive card here so far. But let me see here. Need more mutate. Oh, I don't know if we do or not. Do we need more mutate? You let me know in the comment section down below. It doesn't feel absolutely necessary. I brewed up a Network Walls deck with Doran in the 99. Sounds sick. Sounds like dick. I wish it would sound sick. I wish WotC would print more cards into mechanics like mutate and party and stuff, to be honest. They're so undersupported. Well, that's the thing. Like, they're not evergreen, so they're made for the set that they come out in. You know, maybe if we return to Nethroi's Ikoria, right? Like, if we return to Ikoria, maybe we'll see more mutators, but it's set specific, right? That's rather annoying. I get that, but there is a lack of support for mutate. And all the mutate costs are absurd. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how good it was in standard or the other formats, because I don't follow them, but was mutate usable? So costly. All right. What about some white zombie beer? My wife loves that shiz. I have not tried white zombie beer. I've only listened to white zombie. So, certainly an interesting commander. I just feel like it has be a bit expensive and requires too much to set up. We'll see. We'll see. Am I late? Am I Alte? Cameron, you're not Alte. Mutate is cool, but it's so incredibly complex and hard to keep track of. Well, let's see if we can keep track of it today. And I want to take a gander at some of the cards in this deck. I can already say that Great Henge is probably not that great here. If we have a Mana Crypt, I feel like we can do with a Mana Vault. I'm like, am I wrong? Is his mutate cost not for generic Selesnian and double black? Like, I feel like a Mana Vault can probably go in here. Again, it's under the mark of a Mana Crypt, so we can probably do that. Arcane Signet, sure. Orzhov Signet, great. Altar of Dementia, this seems like it's part of a combo. So yeah, I can already say that Great Henge feels odd, generally feels odd. And it seemed that there was one thing that really stuck out like a sore thumb, and it was the amount of lands in this deck. So I actually want to take a gander at this first. Now, I got critiqued last time regarding lands when I went down to 28 with a certain list. I was told that was too few. It depends. Right. So with lands, we've got 38 here. That feels like a lot. But we are lacking a lot of fast mana. But the thing that this color pie has more over any other color, specifically green, are dorks. And we have a handful here. I mean, we could probably do with a handful more dorks. I mean, don't we need bodies to mutate onto anyways? Or just sacrifice for general purposes? Like, we got an Eldritch Evolution in here? Yeah. Because we are lacking fast mana, we might rely on dorks more over anything. And so we can skirt, what I'm trying to say is we can skirt away from 38 lands. Like, this is a bit too much. Now, I know players that go down to 26, 27. I find that to be too low. I found that just from general play and practice that my decks always gravitate between 28 lands and 29 lands. And then more, provided we have MDFCs. And I don't even count those, right? Like Shatterskull Smashing, I just consider that a good card that also happens to be a land. And that'll add to the count, all right? 38's a bit too much. But again, as I was stating, we are lacking fast mana. So It's not like we're going to be able to power play certain aspects of our deck. And also, a lot of the decks that leverage fewer lands generally have cards in the command zone that offer some sort of card value, whether that be a tutor and or draw, even if it doesn't read as draw. I think they all pretty much read as draw, other than Thrasios. He's just put to hand. I don't remember. All right, so probably get rid of some cards. Bojuka Bog, does this hit everyone? Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. I'm not high on Bojuka Bog. I guess you could crop rotate it, right? But we're not even on crop rotation, which we should be on. If you feel like you face a lot of grave strategies, like there's an opposing Nethroi, I'll advise you to just be on crop rotation, Charles, and then also, then you can go back to Bojuka Bog, but I wouldn't say Bojuka Bog is like absolute necessary. The fact that it comes into play tapped, like you were mentioning how it feels slow, if there are a lot of tapped lands, it will feel slow. Cabal Coffers. I am not high in Cabal Coffers whatsoever, even if you are on Urborg, which I'm honestly going to take out too, if it happens to be in here. I'm going to take out Urborg. I don't like giving my opponents anything. Right, so this, the Yavimaya one, I'm not interested in that. I'm not going to help color fix for the board, particularly because black is a super relevant color. Black is hyper relevant. Like, what if my opponent was just one black mana shy of doing the Necropotence on his turn, and they just got their Ancient Tomb turned into a swamp, right? It happens. And I don't like doing that. I don't like being the arbiter of that. It's like, if I'm the one allowing everyone to do a thing, it's not good. Got a lot of quirky lands in here. I do want to put in a Tainted Pact. So what I'll do is actually just narrow down our basic land base as well. Tainted Pact's kind of costly, but the price dropped due to the Mystical Archives. Is that what they're called? Again, apologies if I sound sick. Yeah, it's not so bad, is it? That's not bad. No, that's not bad at all. Oh my god, this art is so good. Oh, this is the one we're going to put in the deck, by the way. Okay. And Dotha Triome sounds appropriate. Do we have any fetch lands? Am I crazy? Okay, no, they're there. I'm going to take all these temples straight up. Again, not Temple Garden, but these temples. Temple of Silence. I had to look there. I'm like, no, we don't. Temple Garden. That's a duel. We want that. That's a shock, rather. Anything that enters tapped. This is going to help your deck feel quicker. 100% positive about that. And Lax, we'll just reduce this down to 30 lands to start. I think that's probably a good place to start. Right? Yeah, that's fine. And now I want to work in reverse here. So we've got... Sorry if you guys haven't been able to see these, but I think we'll just take a quick gander of these, right? And you can just look at the titles. No, I lied. I like it this way. Fabled Passage is kind of slow fetch, but it's fine. It's fine. Dakmar's Salvage, what? I'll take that out too. God, we went down to 29. We'll see if we stay that way. What I will do is probably put in snow-covered lands. Is this part of like a healthy Nethroi package, Field of the Dead? I don't think so. I'm going to put in some snow-covered lands. I promise. And I would rather Phyrexian Tower before I ever did High Market. Oh my god. All right, we're at that first. We got the Phyrexian Tower. Okay. Snow-covered lands. I'm going to stop touching the lands. I'm going to assume that all these lands are perfect. I said I would stop touching. I keep touching it. I'm still touching it. Okay. There's a few more tapped lands and just oddities in there, but I'm going to keep them. I'm just going to add in snow-covered lands now. We don't even have to think about it. And then we'll go back to making more cuts. But we're going to keep this within budget, I promise. Okay. Mana Vault. Tainted Pact, gotta remember those. Okay, snow-covered. Swamp, snow-covered. Plains, snow-covered. Say it with me now. Forest. Okay. Back to cutting. I'll tune in with you guys. Bog is okay, but very play group dependent. Yeah, I run 26 lands in Joyra. So, Luke, like, when you... But, like, you're drawing a lot, right? Wait, which Joyra? Right? So, for Sithis, Sithis is hard on 28 lands. I mean, she's on 28 lands. It's not difficult, but she is all about it. She's hot for it, right? That Dryad Nymph, she's all about 28 lands because she draws a shit ton. But that's Sithis, though. Can you get away with less? I don't know. Anyway, maybe I should run less than Sithis. But we're going to keep the land base at 30. I presume we're still talking about lands. Chain of Smog combo in the deck seems all right if the deck has enough creature tutors. Sandstep, Citadel 2. Yeah. You're all right. What will happen while we playtest this list is that we'll see how these lands affect the deck, and then we could just advise we switch them out. But I would keep, obviously, the Indatha Triome over the Sandstep Citadel, or whatever this thing is. Can't have it. Okay. Sorcery speed spells. What do we got? We've got Demonic Tutor. We've got Farseek. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Farseek. Farseek is fine. Farseek is fine. This is how we sort of get around the fact that we don't have the monies for the Mox Diamonds and such, right? Nature's Lore, fine. Rampant Growth is a little bit on the weekend for me. Right? I wanted to hit any of the types I have and not just basics because we're on a mana base now that's Singleton, right? And that's predominantly for this lovely card. And again, didn't I promise this art? Didn't I promise this art? I don't even own this yet, and I mean to buy it. I just forgot it existed. Okay. But this is a little slow. Balagid Recovery. More lands. Probably don't need that one. Could take out Harmonize. Don't need that. I promise you won't need Harmonize. Destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Well, you're going to bring them back, right? So maybe this makes sense, but this is maybe a world pre-Dam, right? We want to put Dam in instead of Wrath. So we'll do that. If you guys don't know what Dam is. I don't know how you don't know what Dam is. This beautiful card. So good. Every deck deserves Dam. If you're in black and white, you deserve Dam. Eerie Ultimatum. Let's just look at this together. Because I don't know what it does. I'm going to take this out. Isn't this Nethroi? Is that the idea? I'll take it out. I'm going to take it out. We got Nethroi. You don't need that kind of redundancy. Right? It's also very costly, but you don't need that redundancy. I don't imagine. Read the Bones. Yeah, it's a little costly. I'm going to say Nyx Read the Bones. We would rather have that sort of card quality effect happen at instant speed. I mean, we'll pretend that Abzan has something to do out of its own turn. Most colors don't have anything to do outside of their own turns. Let's just be honest with each other. Not that many people have interaction unless they're in blue. Does that seem fair? No, I'll say it. I'll say it for you. All right, so we're moving on. Teferi's P. We can still run Abrupt Decay. Like, Abrupt Decay is super freaking good. And we actually run a handful of tutors too, right? And not here. I feel like we've got a majority of them. But we could definitely run, if not Imperial Seal, we're definitely going to want to run Finale of Devastation. I'll try to remember these, but we'll go over the tutor suite in a second. I might have to have a separate window open for that. Okay. And pardon all the sniffling. Again, I feel super, super self-conscious about this. I still wanted to run this video. Be sick with me. Okay. Entomb. Source Plowshare. Vampiric Tutor. Worldly Tutor. All good cards. Heroic Intervention. Love that art. I'm not sure it's entirely essential. Neither am I sure Teferi's P is essential. Like, it really depends on our combos, and I feel like we're getting there. Mirari's Wake. When you tap... No. This might be why it's slow. We can leave the Smothering Tithe if you want. Yeah. And do you have enough creatures for Aura Shards to be super meaningful? I guess we want to add Dryad Arbor too, don't we? But Aura Shards is fine. I know a lot of people get giddy over Aura Shards. I'm not super high on this card, but whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, that's why I'm saying Dryad Arbor. Like, you can use a fetch land to get Dryad Arbor and you do the thing. That's kind of cool, but I'm going to take out Defense of the Heart too. Even if your combo is a 2-creature combo, this is a super slow broadcasted effect. I generally find it's a waste of time. And I could be damn wrong. And that's okay. I'm taking out Guardian Project too. I've got other cards. We've got other cards. We'll try to speed up this deck, for sure. Okay. Arguably the most important part of this deck. We've got the Bloom Tendies. We don't have that other guy, though. What's the other one? The dude, the tree man? The dude that is Selesnya, who does the same thing as Bloom Tender? Can you all remind me of that thing's name, and we'll add it? As a matter of fact, let's just save this and continue, because it seems like the creature is going to be the most relevant part of this deck. Let me see here. Deluge over Wrath. Right, damn. Or damn. Sachin, I love your voice. Thank you. Alt is permanence, not just creatures. Oh, shit. I still don't think we need it. It really depends. Like, it really, really depends. Do we feel like we need Eerie Ultimatum? That is nice, though. You are absolutely right. I don't think we need it, though. So I see a Walking Ballista. I see a Heliod. Okay, so there's one combo. I see a Viserys here as a sack outlet, and I see a Zulaport Cutthroat and a Corpse Knight. Okay, okay. And a Blood Artist. We've got 1 utility to do the sacking, and then 3 as payoffs. I'll take that out. Take that out. Okay. Hermit Druid. Oh, so you just dump it and pump it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can do that. Reveal a basic land card, but we run basic lands. All right, get rid of that. Karmic Guide. So Suntine Classic combo cards. These are the weaker ones. Of the combo cards I see, these are the weaker ones. Whenever another creature dies or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere, or anywhere other than the battlefield, rather, or a creature card leaves the graveyard, Sir Conrad the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent. All right. I need that fan full blast. Come on, fan. Get with. There you are. Okay. Sun Titan. I like the Trisket Machias business. That's good. And I don't know if I like Protean Hulk here. Nyx Bloom Ancient. Wow. Okay, hold up. We've got a lot going on here. So we've got these two. Avenger Zendikar. I feel like I've only seen this guy not in competitive. Which is fine. I just don't know what he does. Can you read it? I'll read it for you. When Avenger Zendikar enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each land you control. Okay. That's why we probably had a lot of lands, right? Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a +1/+1 on each plant creature. That's pretty cool. They're slow, though. This is like another issue with like the slowness. They're kind of slow. Nyx Bloom Ancient, 4 generic, triple green, trample. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times. Don't I know it well? Yeah, you produce triple the manas. The manas, as they say. I think that's okay. Do we have Natural Order in the deck? Well, that's another one we can add. I don't think we need Avenger Zendikar. And here's how I want to finish the deck. We'll do Mike Trike. We'll do Mike Trike as a reanimate setup, or we'll do Stinkweed. Is there a dredge? I don't think there's a dread. I think there's a dredge sub-strategy here, but I'm not sure it's necessarily something we need to shoot for. And I'm sorry, I see these, but I don't know what they're for. So obviously, you know, this is going to finish the game by itself. This is going to finish the game by itself. What I like about these setups is that it doesn't require a third party be there, right? So we can sort of nix a lot of these. Like I don't like these what they call aristocrats. They're very sluggish. They're not great. They're not conducive to a efficient combo. So if you feel like things are going sluggish, I would just focus, if we're trying to focus in on 2 combos, do Heliod Ballista and do Mike Trike, right? And what's nice about Mike, Heliod, and Walking Ballista, let's see here. I guess +1/+1 it has Undying. Okay. So, I mean, you could, like, Buried Alive, Heliod, Walking Ballista, Machias, or you can Buried Alive, Triskelion, Machias, and I don't know, anything else, really. I guess you could do Eternal Witness and then try to win the game with it. No, that's not really good. I'm trying to think of what that Buried Alive pile wants to look like. All right, anyways. Got a lot of cards to add. I'm going to tune in with you guys. Am I going too crazy here? Am I crazy? Am I on crazy pills? What does the power of friendship say? Oh, Faber Elder, thank you. Blood Artist is your favorite card. I'm so sorry that we had to cut it. Beefy Trees. Elves of Deep Shout, Absence Pilgrim. Outcast, I'm already with you. Hi, Outcast. I'm in Nethroi deck. I run Boonweaver, which is slow, as well as Mike Trike and Necrotic Ooze for a ooze pile. An ooze pile. See, I like where your head's at, Luke. I think that that's kind of the way we want to go too. Mike Blitzer doesn't work, which is sad. No, it doesn't. I'm just saying that if you were to do Heliod, Mike, and Walking Ballista, because we get 10 power, right? So it's 5, 5, and 0. Machias at least gives other non-human creatures +1/+1. So the body is there, right? The body is just there, and it's +1/+1. It still requires a lot of effort to get this thing online, though, because you'll need to spend another 4 to put a +1/+1 counter, give it lifelink. It's very slow. I think I'm more in line with the idea of having the Necrotic Ooze line in play, right? So, like, Necrotic Ooze... Okay, so Necrotic Ooze Buried Alive with Phyrexian Devourer and Triskelion, or Machias and Triskelion as a Nethroi setup. And maybe there's some relevance when this creature's in your graveyard, you get to do a thing, kind of thing to do. That makes sense? All right. We'll save this out, and we'll add some cards. So that means we need to refresh this screen. And I'm also just going to go over here so that we can just an active tab on what is in the deck and what is not in the deck. And let's start in the back. Let's do sorceries first. Okay. So Natural Order is a whole lot less useful. But there are some tutors I wanted, like Finale of Devastation, right? And maybe Unmarked Grave. Maybe Unmarked Grave? We'll throw it in there. Okay. So Finale of Dev. This is a top-notch tutor. If you're in green or if you're in 5 colors, run it. Finale of Devastation is amazing. I'll also add in the Dryad Arbor. Don't knock it till you try it. Trust me. She's slow, but at least it's a relevant land, right? Because it's a body. We have Eldritch Evolution. That's there. We don't have Diabolic Intent. And anytime you have a relevant tutor in your color, especially one that grabs anything, you should probably be running it, right? Not, is it a fun way to think about deck building? No. But it does make your play lines more concise, right? We also happen to be in white. We can grab auras with something like Open the Armory. You have a Skull Clamp. Let's just run Open the Armory? Why is there a Skull Clamp? I don't know. I like it. We're going to add more dorks. Let's just say this that makes sense. Let's open the Armory, because Open the Armory is going to give us our reanimate spells, right? Like Animate Dead, all that fun stuff. So we want that. I think we want that. Are there any other tutors you could think of that you want that I haven't gotten to? Okay. You could do Razaketh. You could do Razaketh, yeah. Kamal. Entomb is an instant speed spell, and it does happen to be there. We're just sorceries for now. Sorry, I guess I should stipulate. Do we have 3 visits? Do we want 3 visits? Again, we're adding in some quirkier tutors because we're lacking that fast mana suite that you typically see. I do think that you could afford... Okay, so you could afford Elvish Spirit Guide. You could afford Chrome Mox at least, because we've got the Mana Crypt, and Mana Crypt is far more expensive than Chrome Mox, right? And I would say, like, anything that's Mox Diamond or more expensive than that is like a no. So no Grim Monolith either, which we might want. Let's take these out. Oh, God. Oh, God. Is that going to screw things up on the other? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really want these. We don't really need those. I don't really need that. Okay. Let's try to save and continue, see if that really mucked up our editor. This collection has changed since it began editing. Bastards. No. Oh, God. I just want to, wait, can I save it just with what I put in? Like, is the Diabolic Intent in there? Cool. And then is the Great Henge still in there? Right. We could just remove these later. I got a little excited. Yeah, we'll just remove them later. Whatever. Okay. Gotta reset. Gotta reset, y'all. But yeah, any other sorcery speed spells you want. They are for you. Guessing Clamp was for Avenger Plants. Maybe. But I mean, it's going to be fine on Dorks. Grist revives with Mutate. Random thought. Oh my God. Did someone just say Grist? Oh, sorcery speed spells. Damn. Didn't we just talk about damn? We need it. We really need it. Oh my God. Okay. Damn. Oh, foil. Yes. All right. Grist is a planeswalker. Okay. Legendary Planeswalker Grist isn't on the battlefield. It's a 1/1 insect. As long as Grist isn't on the battlefield. And you're saying Grist revives with Mutate. Yeah, he does. It's cute. I don't know if it's good. The top effect is kind of cool with Nethroi, though. Dread Return. Deluge is pretty decent. I've heard Toxic Deluge is pretty decent, and I'm going to agree with you. But if you're going to use Toxic Deluge, you have to go with the Double Masters version and in foil. Imperial Seal is just going to be a little too expensive, I think, for the budget here. Because we're trying to avoid anything that's overly expensive. Otherwise, obviously, yes, that's a good card. I think that's probably going to cover it for sorcery speed spells. Again, like the natural order, we don't need. Yeah, okay. 31 lands. Remove Castle Garenbrig. I'll have to do that later. I keep thinking I could do both at the same time. Okay, instant speed spells, y'all. What do we want? Abrupt Decay. Right? Is it just me? We all want Abrupt Decay? I don't really have any, determination of which Abrupt Decay you should own, but if you were to buy one, I would say the Timespower Remastered Old Border Foil is good, or the Seb McKinnon one. But to be honest, I like the original art, so we're going to go with that one. Ass Trophy, beautiful. Heroic Intervention, Tease P. I'm just iffy on these two. Hit me. Just do it. If you're going to do it, do it. Do it quickly, so we can move on to the next game. Those generally are my feelings when it comes to Commander. But just do it quickly. So instant speed tutors, I think that might be it. An Enlightened Tutor would be the last one we want. Enlightened Tutor would have helped the previous package with all those sack altars, but... Enlightened Tutor. Yes. Yes. Sounds delicious. We got Animate Dead. I think we could probably go with Dance of the Dead. Dance of the Dead. Yes. Dance with me. Sylvan Tutor, Carpeted Flowers, Phyrexian Arena, and to be honest, my personal faves, Dark Tutelage, gotta draw them cards. Or in this case, straight put them in our hand. Straight put those puppies in our hand, y'all. If we're gonna use Phyrexian Arena, that is. And Aura Shards, you're on it, so I'm buying it too, man. If you want it, I want it. Thank you. Yeah, Enlightened Tutor Ass Trophy is in already, Outcast. But good try. Good try. Now, let's go on to our creatures. I am in total agreement with the Phyrexian Devourer, Necrotic Ooze, that stuff. I'm all about that stuff. So let's do that. Because the first thing I would want to try is Necrotic Ooze Buried Pile, and then if that fails, we should be at a point where we have the mana to just mutate the dude, and then do it again with the actual combos that we buried. Gonna be tricky. But we'll see. So, Necrotic Ooze. Necrotic Ooze. And then we need the Phyrexian Devourer. Is this like a clunky combo? Yeah, it is. But Abzan doesn't get much better than, you know, Golgari or Selesnya for that matter. So it's tricky. Abzan's at a tricky spot, y'all. Oh, I do want to add the Faeburrow Elder. Although, is Faeburrow Elder really that good? Can we be honest? Hold up. Or is even Bloom Tender that good? Like, what color are our permanents for the most part? If it's early game, they're going to be colorless, maybe black, but predominantly green. So is this really tapping for that much? Probably not that much. Like, I almost feel like Priest of Titania is going to do more work than her, despite the fact that she's giving us colored mana. I never play Priest of Titania, but I might here. Only because we need manas. But I also want to do, a lot of you mentioned it already, the Avacyn's Pilgrim. I want to do Elves of Deep Shadow. I like all these things. I like all these things you suggested. I think Arbor Elf is fine here. We've got Elvish Mystic, but we don't have the Llanowar Elves. Or those Finehorn Elves. And you got to go with the girls. You got to go with those girls. They know what's up. This is the one I own, so I'm going to do that one. Okay. Any other creatures you want? Is there any other creatures? I think that's probably a good place to stop and just see where we're at. Okay. Oh my god, Force of Vig. Woot, another live stream if I'm genuinely excited. Michael, I'm glad you're here. I'm excited too. Let's do Force of Vig. Let's do that Force of Vig. Force of Vigor. Hermit Druid. Hermit Druid, it's outie. Because he cares about them basics. Oversold Cemetery. Fiend Artisan. Ah, yes. Wait, man, you're pulling him out. Everywhere. Culling Ritual. Yes. Oh my god. Culling the Weak. Dark Ritual. Did not see that. Cabal Ritual. What other rituals? Trick question. I don't think there are any. All right, let's do Converted Cost. You know what? Okay, actually, I just want to see where it stands now because we just went through a spurt. A whole spurt. Just save it, damn it. Okay. We do need to kick a few cards still, but we've got 4 more to replace. Like the Phyrexian Altar, the Altar of Dementia. This was all like Sun Titan stuff with probably Karmic Guide. I don't remember what the whole pile was, but we don't need that. Just a little too, what am I trying to say? Finicky? Slow? Clunky. Clunky. And the Great Henge, we don't want that. So technically we have, with this deck, 7 more cards to add. And I don't know if we got all the elves. Like, we missed Boreal Druid, but... Boreal Druid? I mean, the mutate cost on this guy is high, so maybe it makes sense. Let me see what you guys are. Dothy Voidwalker. Oh my god! Opposition Agent! Outcast with all the good cards. Thank you. Dothy Voidwalker. Esper Sentinel. Oh, you're so smart. Meat Hook Massacre. Does tapped outdo a commander deck? I want to test. Does tapped outdo commander decks? You can, yes, you could test decks on tapped out. I think. We'll find out momentarily. You know what? Meat Hook Massacre. Why not? Why not? Because this also combos with our thing. Like, it just does. So that's not bad. All right, sure. Let's save and continue. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go remove the Great Henge, Altar of Dementia, and what was the other one? It was another altar, right? Phyrexian altar. Don't need them. Don't need them. Don't even want them. Okay, God, I want to make it through. I want to make it through today. Okay. Oh, hey, Lean and Relic Warder. So why Lean and Relic Warder, you might ask? Specifically because with our animate auras in Lean and Relic Warder, if Meathook Massacre is out, if you don't know, maybe I'll put Devastation. Hell yeah, I'll put Devastation. You know why? We got a lot of ramp, and Tevesh is legit with Skull Clan. But whenever a creature opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So Lean and Relic Warder with Animate Dead, just sacrificing himself all day. Just by getting rid of the board, you've assembled the Meathook line of play. So it is kind of a win con. But the thing is, it's a back of the mind win con. Actually, if you use Lean and Relic Warder first and Meathook for 2, you can kill Lean and Relic Warder and set up the Animate play line. I'm getting really excited. It's like almost discovered something that's been there this whole time. Oh my God, okay. Super gross. I know. I'm sorry. All right, 98 cards. We got 2 more cards to put in here. I don't think there was a Dark Confidant, Mateus. So you're right. I always assume there is, but there was not. So yeah, we'll do that. I think that's it for like the major draw card, like Esper Sentinel, Dark Confidant, or like the typical go-to white draw cards. Right? Okay. You can mutate on his rolls. Tevesh Svat. Tevesh Svat is the doom of fools. All right, so we've got Svat. We got everything we need, really. Kicked 33 cards. We're at 94% competitive. Read that, Mom. Tell me I'm not competitive now. Let's playtest it, because we got to move on to this other deck soon. But Culling Ritual's gas. Like, are you having trouble? Are you having trouble casting Nethroi? Blast everything. Destroy everything. And then use Tevesh to make Thrall after the fact, because Tevesh is going to make it past Culling Ritual. Brilliant ad. This hand is not good though, so we'll ship it. Okay. Aura Shards. I hate that card. Moving on. Is this a good hand, Pat? We're getting a lot of lands. Like, this is why you play 28 lands, by the way, because you don't want to see this every game. Yeah. Meathook Massacre went into my Massacre Girl deck so fast. I love that card. That's so funny, dude. Is it because of the name, or is it because it's good there? It's probably really good there. But it's perfect on theme for her. Are you running cEDH? Exploit into tutor could be good. Yeah, it could be. Let's do this. Why not? Overgrown Tomb is the one. Sure. Oh, I didn't even draw a card. Sure. Okay. Okay, let's go. Do we dark rid the unmarked grave? If we had a reanimate target, but we don't. Okay. That's cool. Let's do this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we just play Nethroi for value? And I'm not even joking. Nethroi happens to be a 5/5 for 5 with Death Touch Lifelink. Like, that's not bad. Because Nethroi is really hyper backup plan for us, so I'm not too concerned about doing Nethroi. But yeah, let's save this, and we'll do Enlightened Tutor, blam. Animate Dead? Hold up. What does our deck have? We need to shuffle anyways. But what does our deck have that we can Unmarked Grave? Like Lean and Relic Order, right? Lean and Relic Order, Unmarked Grave, Animate Dead, do the loop, win the game with Meathook Massacre. I need the Meathook Massacre. Wait, God. We're not doing that, no. That's not the main line of defense. Let's get our Mana Crypt. Who am I kidding? Okay, top of deck. Cool. Blam. Windswept Heath, hear me out. Mana Crypt, okay? Now, what's cool about this is that I could turn the Heath into a Dryad Arbor, right? I don't have creatures, but I could turn that into a Dryad Arbor to mutate onto the Dryad Arbor, right? Mutate onto the Dryad Arbor, and then bring back nothing. So we need to fix that. That's the bit I'm having troubles with. But you get, I'm going to save this for that, and I'll just put this into play tapped, and we've got nothing to do. This was not a good keeping hand, by the way. We have no interaction. Probably want to throw an Imp's Mischief, maybe? That would make sense. We're just going to keep rolling with this because I started. Okay. None of these things. I'm going to wait. No, actually, here. Let's lie. Let's just pretend we've got some interaction. I'll do the Leonin Relic Order. What do I do? What am I doing with Unmarked Grave? It is good though for that combo. Man, I could have just like buried a Esper Sentinel or a Dark Confidant, couldn't I? Oh, shame. Why did I go for the Mana Crypt? Why? It has to be a creature, right? No, non-legendary card. Oh my god, I can bury anything. I've got nothing I want to bury. Let's just do the Leonin Relic Order in the hopes that that combo appears. Okay. Sure. Next turn. Eternal Witness. I could Hewitt the tutor. How about that? Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. No, we'll save the Sand Step Citadel. It's our best card. Actually, we'd save both. We'll do Hewitt, and we'll do the God, Enlightened Tutor back to hand. Why not? Oh my god, the combo's almost there. Didn't need this guy. We'll do that. We'll do this. We're just not really rocking and rolling here. I'm going to switch. I'm sorry. This has been a very slow, sluggish, very boring game. I'm sorry. You had to submit yourself to that. All right. This is better. This is better. Why not? Okay. Oh, infinitely better now. But this starter is kind of a pain. Fabled Passage relies on what again? I need to have how many lands in play? 4 more lands? Oh my god. Okay. Fine. Fine. We'll do this. We'll grab our... I feel like black and green is the most relevant color here, so Overgrown Tomb is going to be the one I go for. And we'll do the Soul Ring. Right? Nothing else. No follow-up. It's okay. It's cool. We got this. Oh my god. Meat Hook... We needed this! Okay, fine. Alright. Ready for there to be a massacre. Let us do Dark Confidant and then Passez-vous, right? This seems like an okay start. Off turn, we'll crack the Fabled Passage and we'll give ourselves not a plane. We're going to grab a swamp. A snow-covered swamp. Why not? All right. And now we reveal the top card of our library. Bloop. Of course, it's 4 CMC. And then we move on with life. We act like it's just water off a duck's back. What's the phrase? All right, so yeah, that. We'll act like it's that. We can Meat Hook here and kill our own Dark Confidant. Or we can Eldritch Evolution our own Dark Confidant. Or we can Toxic Deluge our own Dark Confidant. It's really, the choice is ours. But remember, we got Necrotic Ooze, so we can not copy Dark Confidant. I think we kind of just wanted DT for a land. No, we wanted DT for something useful here. Let's DT. So Eldritch Evolution is or less, right? Or less. Okay, so we could technically set up the Meat Hook line by doing this. So if we've got an Animate Aura... okay. So if I grabbed an Animate Aura right now, I can go... Hold it. Okay. If I got an Animate Aura, let's just do that. Fine. Animate dead. Because this is what I wanted to do the last game, and it just did not happen for us. Dark Confidant swings. We got 1 mana open. It's holding something strong. All right. Next turn, we lose life for that, and we get this. Awesome. Love it. Play this out. This is turn 4, everybody. Turn 4. So we can Meat Hook Massacre. Meat Hook Massacre. Okay, okay. Yeah, why not? Meat Hook Massacre. Sure. And we'll do it for 2. For 3! Everyone's board's gone. It's kaput. I mean, honestly, I think the Culling Ritual might be best. Can I win the game right now if I Culling Ritual? Let's see. It's turn 4. What is the average Culling Ritual on turn 4? Right? So just by and by. Like, this is 2 mana by itself. Let's just say we made 9 mana. That's not unreasonable either. Like, Culling Ritual on turn 4, that's generally a lot of mana. So, if you guys don't know, destroy each non-land permanent with a mana value of 2 or less and add Golgari for each permanent destroyed this way. You choose. So, can you see what I'm trying to do? What I want to do is, let's just say we make 9. Okay. We make 9. We're going to add black. We're going to add, why not, more black. We get 9. Yeah, sure. More black. This is going to indicate green. All the green we need for this combo. More black. Right? Yeah, that seems good. And why not, I don't know, let's do this much black and then this much green. This much green. Okay, sure. So we do double black. Meat Hook Massacre for nothing. Then we'll do Entomb. Bloop. We'll bury the Lean in Relic Water. Oh my god, it's happening, it's happening. Okay. Lean in Relic Water. And then we'll Animate Dead using a green and a black. And this is where you want that Imp's Mischief. Blam! Lean in Relic Water. Now, guys, we did it. Turn 4. I mean, we did kind of cheese it with the Culling Ritual, but we can assume, right? Okay, so if you guys don't know this loop, all that's relevant is that this is killing them, and that Lean in Relic Water and Animate Dead work as such. When you target, when Lean in Relic Water comes back, sees the Animate Dead that's touching it, it says, ew, gross, I don't want that, and it goes away. There's a delayed trigger from Animate Dead, and it says, oh, you bury the sucker. You bury the sucker, and then there's a leave the battlefield trigger on Lean in Relic Water. It brings back the Animate Dead, which sees Lean in Relic Water in the grave, and you just keep doing that. And we got extra mana. So, not half bad. Was it? I needed that combo like I need a tissue right now. But we got there. How are you guys? Was that everything you wanted? We're going to Grand Warlord Radha. Get hyped. I'm going to set that up on my screen. But let's just conclude our thoughts for Charles and Groan on Nethroi, the boy wonder. It's fine. Nothing else to say. No, here's what I think. I think Nethroi is simply there for backup. Super, super backup reanimation, and you happen to be an Abzan. There's enough tutor and draw utility that fits well within your budget that we've inserted, and there's certainly things we're missing. Like, I want to have a little bit of interaction and a little bit of protection. So things like Avoid Fate instead of Heroic Intervention, just because it's less mana and it protects the one thing we need when we need it. Maybe even, like I said, the Imp's Mischief, but also like a Vines of Vast would be good because it's also multi-layered with what you can do with it. I think a Noxious Revival is a must. It's just one of those things I wasn't thinking about when we were doing this. But it's fine. It's fine. We didn't even use like the 2 combos that the deck is set up around. So if you don't know what we were trying to work towards there, and if you're not here for the live stream, the live chat was talking about this. Necrotic Ooze, Phyrexian Devour, Triskelion. Basically, you just exile your deck, and then you ping everyone for 1. Now, this does require that you have a high CMC for your deck. I don't know the averages here, but this is probably enough to kill them off mid-game. The better combo, in my opinion, is Triskelion and Machias. So when you have both of those on the field, and there's probably like a Victimize or like something that we can utilize to get them both back at the same time, Triskelion will ping everything and then itself twice to die, and then come back because of our boy Machias, the Unhallowed specifically. You are in Abzan, so you could run the other Machias, but you won't. And silence. Matthias says silence. Silence, Noxious Revival, Imp's Mischief, Avoid Fate. No, oh my god, Veil of Summer. We gotta move on, though. These are all good cards. you should definitely be utilizing them. I think this is a quicker Nethroi, not to get to Nethroi, but to do the other things, and then Nethroi's there for backup. Sounds good? Okay. Who's ready for Grand Warlord Radha? Who's ready to play some Gruul? I think I am. I really, really love Gruul, so I'm extremely excited for this. Let's see here. Is there not a Triumph in these colors? Indoth, the Triumph is in the deck. Get Nothing, No Balls. Abzan Triumph, yeah, it's in there. Both, but I did Massacre. They're strictly for flavor. Imp's Mischief for some interaction? Yes. Oh my god, it's like we read each other's minds. Okay. Was that clap loud? I'm sorry. Let's do it. Let's talk about Grand Warlord Radha. So, this gal is sick as hell. And I've always wanted to brew for her. And now's our opportunity. So, there's 2 Radhas, by the way. And we might as well look at the other one, because I think this one was very popular for a while. But I think Grand Warlord Radha is just a little bit better. Oh my god, there's a third one. I just knew of these 2. Okay. What? Okay, let's look at the Radhas. When you look at the top card of your library and play land, that's why we don't know that one. Okay, so this is the other one that's pretty popular. It's also in Gruul. They're all in Gruul, apparently. 2 CMC. Whenever a Radha attacks, you may add double red. Oh my god. Oh, we're in Gruul. This is so nice. Okay. And you could tap her for green. You want to give her vigilance, I guess? I don't know. The art's amazing. There's a decapitated dude in her hand. She looks gnarly as fuck. And then there's also Grand Warlord Radha, which I'll just read off here. 2 generic, Gruul, Elf Warrior, Legendary, Creature, 3/4 body. The future is my gift to Keld. To you this time. Haste. Whatever one or more creatures you control attacks, add that much mana in any combination of red and or green. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Brilliant! So many options. So much to do. We want to fill up the board with creatures and do a thing. Can we agree? Is that what we want to do? Okay. I think that's what we want to do. So let's go over here, and we're going to take a look at the deck. But the first thing I want to do is just read over what Jens had sent us regarding the list. Goal of the deck is to deny our opponents access to mana while utilizing Radha's mana generation to propel our game plan. We ultimately want to shoot for a Dualcaster Mage, Twin Flame, Heat Shimmer combo, which we can look at in a second, or dump Radha's mana into Aggravated Assault for infinite combat. I've considered adding Conspicuous Snoop combo, but not sure if it takes away from the Dualcaster line because of how many slots it will. Let's avoid the Snoop. Can't wait to see what you're able to do with this list. Cheers. Well, here we are. And I can't wait to see either. Let's see. And there was a suggestion in the audience already. So Savage Beating Spellbinder is a thing you can do. Make a bunch of mana, play a bunch of X burn spells to blow people up. That sounds kind of dope. But let's see what we have just in the general makeup of Jens' list. And I think it's going to be juicy. Or at least I certainly hope so. Oh god, this IPA is saving me. Not really. It's not helping at all. Okay. Do you like the silence? Do you like the silence? It's good. This is all good. The Null Rod is fine. And the Winter Orb, yeah, these all make sense. Isn't there another thing like Winter Orb? What is it? Sphere of Resistance or... Hold on. Not Sphere of Resistance. It's untap more. Static Orb. Players can't untap more than 2 per... Well, that's a little too damning on us, isn't it? Players can't untap more than 1 artifact during their untap steps. I mean, that's kind of cute, right? Emmy statue. It's a little costly. I think Winter Orb's probably enough. Is there another thing like Winter Orb? I really thought there was. We'll go to sorceries, we'll end on creatures last. And Vorinclex. Winter Orb. You monster. No, Winter Orb is great. We definitely want it. Jessica's Will. Heat Shimmer. Eldritch Evolution. Finale of Devastation. All of these cards are great. Shatter Skull Smashing, one of my favorites. Faithless Lutang, Gamble, Green Sun Zenith, another pretty good card for the other list we were looking at. If only for Eternal Witness, I guess. Meltdown. Yeah. I think these are all good. I think you could probably go for like a Shattering Spree even. Right? Because you're going to be generating a lot of red mana. You could replicate this, choose the same target, choose multiple targets. But basically with Radha, you can sort of command how the board will look. And if you're trying to damn your opponents, right, deny them of resources, I think having a Shattering Spree to just go wide and say, that, gone. Like your Mana Crypt, your Soul Ring, your Arcane Signet, whatever. Kill it all. I like that. I think that's a good idea for Radha. Maybe even more so than Meltdown. And only because you do have a handful of items that are useful. Right? I say items, artifacts. All right. Domri. Oh, yeah, I fucking love it. Okay. Domri's one of my favorites. Not only because it's ramp, not only because it's good with a go wide strategy for the damage, it's also just good removal. Domri does so many things and is heavily, heavily slept on. Easily one of my favorites. So good choice on the Domri. Good choice on the Domri. I feel like someone's going to poke at the fact that I've been sniffling this whole time in the comment section. To you, sir. I feel horrible that I am miserable right now. I hope you guys can suffer through this. All right. Is it essential we have everything be a forest? Like, do we have an Arbor Elf and like a Guy's Cradle or some sort of sweet combo? I don't know. I like Kessig Wolfrun here, actually. Because it's on the attack, right? Let me just get this straight. So many creatures. Add that much mana in any combination when you attack. So what you could do, gang, is attack with a bunch of stuff and then Kessig Wolfrun, right? And then target creature gets plus X, plus O, and then trample. That's legit. I like that a lot. So we're actually at 29 lands with at least this one MDFC. That's probably good. I'm going to take this Cavern of Souls out. Do you need Cavern of Souls? Does it feel like you need Cavern of Souls? Let me look at what you're actually running. To me, this is one of the most useless lands in the game. I could be wrong, though. I'm sure someone will say I'm wrong. I think Yavimaya Cradle of Growth is fine. Like, it's a very niche scenario where you actually want it, if we're being honest, but it's fine. Again, the Planeswalker was great. Instant speed spells, D-SWAT, love it. Abrade, Desperate, Rich Ual, Fork, Pyretic Ritual, Reverberate. These are all amazing cards. Crop Rotation, Nature's Claim. I prefer Natural State. That's the only thing I would change, I guess, but this is all fine. Veil of Summer, these are fine. Even if you want to, like, contest another blue spell, you could add a Guttural Response, right? If you feel like you need interaction and you've got a lot of blue players at the table. Guttural, am I crazy? Is that, is it with an A? Oh my god. Guttural Response. I just don't know how to spell this card. And you got to use the one with the wart flavor text. Okay? Important. Plus the Shadowmoor foils. You get to brag. You're like, yeah, I own Shadowmoor foil. But yeah, counter target blue instant spell. This is great. This is a really good way to stop them damn blue players. Is it as good as Pyro and Red Elemental Blast? No, but all your dorks can cast it like very easily. And we don't have too many dorks, right? Do we? I think we need at least... We need Tinderwall. I say need, but if you're in Gruul, you should be on Tinderwall. It's really good. It's 1 green for 2 red. Oh, and it's a body, right? The thing is, you could just cast this turn 1, and if someone just goes off, they have like their turn 1 ad nauseum, whatever. You can use Tinderwall to cast your Reverberate and copy that ad nauseum, right? And then, I don't know, hopefully get something to stop them. You're in Gruul, so probably not. But you're just going to have a flush-ass hand, which would be really sick. But Tinderwall's amazing. I would definitely incorporate Tinderwall in this list. I think all of these are fine. You don't need Seething Song or anything like that. And you're not on Rite of Flame either, so I kind of want to just add Rite of Flame. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead. Your list is pretty well defined already with what I'm looking at now. But what I want to do is just add in a handful of these cards as we go along so that we know what to remove. So Rite of Flame, Tinderwall. What else did I say that we just discussed? Oh my god, memory, don't fail me now. Shattering Spree. I'll do like a Shattering Spree. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And all the instants are good. Enchantments. Root Maze. Yeah, this is more denial. I think that you could probably go with a Orb of Dreams too. Because if you're trying to really hang them up, like permanents come into play tapped. Again, this also hurts you, but you're going to be in a better spot if your mana generation is coming from Radha, right? So it's almost like Root Maze. Obviously, Root Maze is a lot more cost-effective to cast, but it's still very good. I promise I'll check in with the comments in a second. I don't mean to be ignoring you. I'm here for you. Rhythm of the Wild. Creatures you control can't be countered. Sure. Blood Moon. Why not? Are we on Magus of the Moon too? I would assume so. These are all good cards. I'm really not hating the general makeup of this list. This might be the place where we make the most cuts to your creatures. And outside of that, I feel confident that you've got a good setup here. I've actually sold both my Null Rods. Like if you're in green, you could probably just go with Collector Oof, and that's fine. But Null Rod's very easy to cast, so I agree with it. Thorn of Amethyst is fine. All of these are fine. These are all what your deck wants to do. Maybe you could get by with a Mana Vault as well. Like you've got a lot of 3 generic in the cost here. And even if the 3 doesn't go totally to pay for the thing, I still think it's decent ramp for this deck. So I'm going to put in a Mana Vault. And let me just look at these creatures really quick. Because Kogla the Titan Ape is actually it's like a real banger of a creature. He actually is a combo card with a lot of things. Let's see if you have those things in here. Inferno Titan. What? Yeah, okay, let's look at the creatures. Let's do this first. Let's do this, and then we'll look at the creatures. Okay. Yep. And refresh this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just stop and then read over the viewership's commentation. Just to let you guys know I love you, and that I'm here for you. Okay, what did I miss? Vandal Blast. You can do Vandal Blast. It has an overload of 6. Destroys all the artifacts. It's good. We could probably go with a little bit more enchantment destruction. You know, there are things like Back to Basics that'll hurt you, counterbalance, some kind of nonsense like that. But there are value enchantments you want to hit, especially if you're trying to pop off on your turn. Like, it wouldn't hurt to kill the Rhystic Study. Not that what you're doing is storming in the traditional sense. You are trying to do like a creature storm, but the setup with Dual Caster Mage is entirely different. The thing is, you could also do Dockside Extortionist, Eternal Witness, and Twin Flame for the same creature-based kill. Which is good. So it's good you have them both in there. Loyal Apprentice seems kind of weak, but I'm assuming you've... yeah. Okay. So you've got attacky combos. And Loyal Apprentice is good with Grand Warlord. Yeah. Okay. This is fine. Let's take this out now. Sorry. We don't need Rex Sage. I would rather you just be on Natural State and Nature's Claim than the Rex Sage. It's just not a... It's a body for the thing, but it's kind of just a shit creature, in my opinion. No offense to Reclamation Sage. We probably need more ways to remove creatures too, or make our things unblockable, or just be able to get in on opponents. Unless you're okay with things just dying. Yeah, let's look at the creatures. I do want to read over the rest of these comments. Okay. Hellkite Charger, Collector, Oofer. Outcast, always with the... Wait, no, they're in here, Outcast. They're in here. Not Destiny Spinner, but the rest of these things are in here. Radha to Keld. You mean you want the other Radha in here? Heir to Keld. You want this one in here? We could. Radha Heir to Keld would be sick as hell. Yeah, Radha. Let's do that. I like her a lot. I mean, it's doing the thing you want to do, right? But more importantly, someone said Outcast said Hellkite Charger. So, if you guys don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, better. When Hellkite Charger attacks, it's important to note that you need to layer this very particularly. But if you do, untap all attacking creatures, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So Radha and anyone else generating mana on the swing, because of Radha, is going to go towards the Hellkite Charger. Is this better than Aggravated Assault? No, but you have creature tutors to find this thing. So if you just hit that critical mass, you could do the thing. I like it. I also think we're missing Court of Calling. So, yeah, we'll add that. You have the creatures to do the thing, right? You have a lot of creatures here. Oh my god. Okay, Hellkite Charger. I'm going to order a soup, some ramen maybe after this. I wish you guys could join me. We could all talk shop. But I'm not going to be eating ramen on camera. Okay. 107 cards. Let's remove some cards. Reload the site. Yes. Google. Yes. Okay. Orin Frostfang. Okay. Pretty sure the creature suite is where the list needs to be helped most. Loyal Print is essential ramp for Radha. So you tell me you want me to remove creatures and you criticize my choice, Jens. I'm kidding. No, you're right. I see where you want Loyal Apprentice with Radha. Namely because these creatures have evasion, right? And what's nice is that she doesn't have to do anything. She just needs to be there to generate the creatures. And those creatures have Haste. So with Haste, they can swing immediately. Yes, I agree. I am in complete agreement. Oh my gosh. So runny. So runny in the nose. Let's just do... Is Inferno Titan super important? When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage as divided... I'm going to say no to Inferno Titan. Kogla does combo with Eternal Witness. Right. But I don't know if we have the real setup for Kogla to be like a real blowout. I like Orin Frostfang enough. I think with Orin Frostfang, we could probably... You could probably want a natural order. Oh, you know what you really want to do, though? Honestly, like, if you're trying to... If you don't need the enchantments, you don't need the artifacts, you should really be on Bane of Progress. Like, these are the blowouts, in my opinion, that are going to affect most, at least players in my play group, because most people are trying to storm and do things with all the mana they've built up, and you could just sort of deny them of that and have the biggest beater. So Bane of Progress is pretty dope, in my opinion. And Dryad Arbor doubles down. Yeah, I get Dryad Arbor in there. Okay. We're still cutting stuff, though. Still cutting stuff. Allosaurus Shepherd. Okay. How much is that aloe worth? Green spells can't be countered. Huh? All right. I believe it. Wandering Archaic's fine. Okay, I'm just going to start at the high CMC end all the way down. Let me go a little bit closer. Riona Fire Dancer. 3 generic, double red, legendary creature, human wizard, 3/4 body. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create X tokens that are copies of another target. Blah. Where X is 1 plus the number of instant sorcery spells you've cast this turn. That feels like a lot of work. They gain haste. I can see this being a blowout, though. I can understand why you would want to do this. I would say that she's on the weaker end, though. Like, I would never focus her. I'm not that interested in her. No, I don't think I am. Okay. Wandering Archaic is fine. I think this is a good thing to ramp out into. I think that Toski is just okay. You gotta do combat damage, huh? Alright, keep Toski. Whenever one or more creatures you control fights or becomes blocked, you don't have that many fight mechanics outside of her, right? Or she's not really... She doesn't let you fight, but she'll let you do the other thing. That creature must be blocked. At the beginning of combat of your turn, so you can use Radha mana for this. Whenever one or more creatures you control fight or becomes blocked. So it's only ever going to be the one draw. she just feels okay. Like, you need an influx of creatures, but she just feels okay. Like, I'm not really high on her, sadly. I like Toski more, which is crazy because I'm not really a big fan of Toski. I like Orin Frostfang a lot, right? I like the fact that everything you have has death touch. So, like, at least you're not throwing yourself into a shit situation hoping to draw. Everything dies when you swing, right? Even if they're trading and not letting you draw, it's fine. Totally fine. Okay, so you got these token generators. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 goblin with Haste. Good, good. This dude gets really big, trades up, right? So you just swing that at the person you want to kill, right? So like that Crom, they're not going to block. Combat Celebrant, it gets Exert, you untap all the things, then you get more triggers, right? I think that Combat Celebrant is fine. Does this mean you need to add Kiki Jiki or something cute to go with Combat Celebrant? It feels like it, right? But I'm yes and no on Combat Celebrant. I feel a little bit iffy on that one too. But we do need to cut 2 more cards. So let me see here. Like, is this one-time effect really worth it? I mean, is there something I'm missing? I'm going to take it out for now. All these seem fine. All these seem fine. All these seem fine. Like I like Magus of the Moon in this deck. It's these guys that are going to be really tricky. Can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. Okay, so you won't throw that Crom's way. Tinderwall, who added that card? Yeah, we want that. Can't be blocked except by creatures with flying or reach. Okay, I see what you're doing here. Gets +1/+2 as long as opponent controls non-basic land. Okay, so that's pretty dope. That's a pretty big dude. That's one of the weaker ones, though. I would rather have the 1/1s. Ragavan, happy with? We're missing some dorks, and maybe you could tell me about the influx of dorks or lack thereof. Untap each other creature you control. That's a dope effect, isn't it? All right, so Copperhorn Scout. Copperhorn Scout. Is that a combo card with Combat Celebrant? If it hasn't been exerted, yeah, that's right. It does have that clause, doesn't it? What are you really getting out of Copperhorn Scout? Beyond the fact that you're untapping everything, is there like a meaningful interaction for untapping everything? Is it so that we can tap our dorks for more mana? Wait, it's on the attack? Let's get this straight. Okay, so let's be honest. Is Treetop Scout, is Spire Tracer, is Sky Shroud Elite, is this better than just a traditional dork? Is this better than just having a dork? Right? Like Finehorn Elf, like the dorks that there's 1 or 2 we're missing. Mystic Elf, Elvish Mystic. Is it better? I genuinely don't think so. And here's why. Because our dorks on the attack, like if we Green Sun Zenith Copperhorn Scout, right? And we're able to use her with our dorks on the attack with Radha, if they untap, we could tap the dorks down to get even more mana generation for that turn, right? To feed into things like our Hellkite Charger now. Not to say that, this is something that is a core essential thing, but I think Hellkite Charger works better with the list than any sort of conspicuous Snoop lines. Because those are adding, when you run Conspicuous Snoop, you add in a lot of cards that wouldn't otherwise be in the deck. So I have to think to myself, like, how do these cards function outside of the combos? Are they useful? Hellkite Charger, it's not very useful outside of the combo, but I will state that it by itself is a better play as a singular combo piece for the deck than anything else. And nothing else screams, like, and maybe you've tested Hellkite Charger and it just didn't live up to expectations, but I think the general makeup of the list is better with Charger and maybe a Priest of Titania, because you only need double red, and like you could call double red here or you could get the double red here. Let's do this. I just want to put in some regular dorks. Excuse me. Some regular old dorks. So Elvish Mystic and, what did I say? Elvish Mystic and Finehorn? Right? Okay, let's just do that. Let's see what that looks like. Reloaded, baby. Reloaded. Okay. Fine Horn. I really do want to add Natural Order, and I want to add Bane of Progress. Bane of Progress is a bomb. Like, people under-evaluate Bane of Progress. Like, that dude just shreds. And this list cares about having bodies, right? So if I'm going to have one just giant-ass body, I want it to be Bane of Progress. All right, I'm sorry. I've definitely ignored y'all. Let me tune back in with you to see what's up. This is really difficult to fine-tune. This list really... It doesn't really have very many angles. Like, it's not doing a lot. It's generating mana and winning the game with infinite combat. One of two ways, right? And I mean Aggravated Assault or Hellkite Charger. Or you are doing infinite tokens with Dualcaster Mage, Twin Flame, that whole setup, which we've seen before. Or you can use Dockside Extortionist, Eternal Witness, and a Twin Flame that has been striven. That is strived. All right. I just joined. What are your thoughts on Leyline Tyrant in the deck? This is the one that lets you hold red. It's not, I wouldn't say it's essential. I'll say that Leyline Tyrant's probably not essential. Endurance, Beastmaster Ascension, Outcast. I love the suggestions, always. Imperial Recruiter's a dope suggestion. And only because Dualcaster Mage is an essential part of the deck, right? And that we get there. And you could also just get Eternal Witness to bring back a combo piece. You could get your Mags of the Moon. You can get your removal with Manglehorn. All of this sounds really good, right? Imperial Recruiter is power. You also grab Orin Frostfang. I totally forgot about that. We'll add just Imperial Recruiter for now. I'm not sure it's the best tutor. I don't know if it sticks, but it is another body that can be swinging. So that to me is relevant. I do see some comments from Jens though, so I'm just going to hyper focus on those. This is his deck, and he probably has more information on why those choices were made, what is functioning best for him. And I'm going to trust that everything you say is accurate. But these are the cuts I would probably make still. All right. Pseudo Vigilance. Yeah, kind of. With the Scout. Definitely weaker ones. They're definitely weaker. Savage Ventmaw plus Hellkite. I'm not even sure we need Savage Ventmaw. If you guys don't know what Savage Ventmaw is, it's like it does suffer from summoning sickness, right? So Savage Ventmaw. It's a Gruul dragon. Yeah. It attacks, you can generate 6 mana until end of turn, you don't lose that. Okay, so I don't think this is necessary. If your deck is doing the thing it should be doing the whole time, I don't think this is necessary. You've obviously avoided Anger of the Gods, Pyroclasm, Whip Flare, all that stuff because your bodies are relevant. Let other people worry about doing the board wipes. You need to focus on making sure that all of your stuff is set up. Your engine is set up for Grand Warlord Radha to do the thing with either Aggravated Assault or Hellkite Charger. And what's nice is Hellkite Charger has the haste, does the thing immediately. You don't need to be concerned about it being untapped, right? Which is the issue with the other one. We did just add Court of Calling, but I will state that Court of Calling, it can very easily pump out a Savage Ventmaw off turn to have that set up, but it's not necessary. Like, it's a redundancy that Grand Warlord Radha, we're already playing for. I think we should always prioritize her as that function, and I don't think people are going to be too worried about you doing this. I don't think, but they could be. I don't know. All right, let's cut some more things. We need to cut at least 3 things here. Okay, so Natural Order is in the deck so that we could very easily cheat out Bane of Progress, Orin Frostfang, and or, honestly, Eternal Witness in situations where we're in a pinch and we need to grab that card back. I think Occam Adversary is a little bit overrated. Sorry, I don't like it that much. I'm probably going to omit it from this version of the list. I also think Allosaurus Shepherd is like mono green bait. I really feel like Allosaurus Shepherd is best in those mono green list, but if you want it, we'll keep it. How important are green cards? Kind of important. So yeah, we'll keep it. I am happy with this makeup right now. Jessica's Will feels good. Jessica's Will's good because Grand Warlord Radha makes mana to generate Jessica's Will, and then you'll generate even more red mana, so make sure that you come off even with green mana in this exchange, and then you get to exile the top 3 cards. That's good. It just feels slow, but it's good. And maybe you're generating 4 or 5 red at most when you get to do the thing, which I would consider very good. We added Rite of Flame, right? of flame. We did. Okay. We got the crop rot. I really think it's going to be coming from the creatures again. I hate to say it. The only thing I feel like is a redundancy you might not need is the null rod, because genuinely speaking, if you're really concerned about like artifact storm or someone really just destroying you because your dockside is of equal importance, I would say that you would just go Green Sun into Collector Oof, and that'll be your answer for the interim. And then when things cool down, you can go for your own dockside, right? When someone cools down, someone kills your own Collector Oof. But I don't think you need to double down on that particular stack's redundancy. Despite the fact that you don't really care about your artifacts that much, they're still going to be able to they're going to be helpful and viable early game still. I do think this is good against Stormlist, especially with Tome of Legends. It's super relevant. Not that you have tutors for that outside of Gamble, but I still think it's relevant that you have that available and that you just focus on the Collector Oof. And I don't know what else to cut. Like, I really want to just cut this Allosaurus Shepherd. Wandering Archaic is hit or miss sometimes. Toski is just okay, but like, since I took out one other draw engine, I feel like it's necessary. That's not really a draw engine though. Like, this guy's not a draw engine. It's kind of a trap. Like, I think a lot of people think that they need it. It's not always necessary. The Root Mace can screw you over in some instances, but I think it's worth it for the most part. Rhythm of the Wilds, is it important that your creatures have Riot for the haste or are uncounterable? Generally speaking, most creatures are uncounterable because people don't run counters for creatures, right? Like Delay, Counterspell, Mana Drain, Force of Will. There's only so many counters, like premium counters that people keep in their decks that actually also hit creatures, and they're very hard pressed to utilize those on creatures, especially if it's like just a Toski or it really depends. Like the Bane of Progress might be big enough, right, to want to counter, but I guess I prefer Allosaurus Shepherd over Rhythm of the Wild. Like, I don't see us needing. I prefer my green instants and sorceries and all that other good stuff than I do Rhythm of the Wild. I'm going to take this out. I'm not entirely certain how important haste is, because with this combo, it doesn't matter. With the dual caster mage combo, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter all around, right? And all the things you're making have haste. Am I wrong? Like Rabble Master? The Goblin tokens have haste. These things have haste. Yeah. Okay. We're in a good spot here. I think this makes sense. Okay. We're at 100 cards. 2 to you guys. Had Shepherd in to dump Radha's mana and beef up the Evasive Elves. Oh, I see. That's kind of cool. Summoner's Pacts. Summoner's Pact is nice. Let's take a look at it. A green creature. All right, what green creature? So here's my thing about Summoner's Pact. If I'm going to have to eat this upkeep cost, I want to make sure that the thing I'm grabbing has the potential to win on the spot or do something very important or meaningful. Genuinely speaking, the only pact that's super worth it is Pact of Negation. Because this one does something super meaningful, right? Counter target spell for 0? That does something super meaningful. But grabbing a green creature in this list, what are our most important creatures? Right? Some would say Dockside Extortionist. Obviously, Jens would say Dualcaster Mage, like it was in the whole brief, right? The newly allotted Hellkite Charger, it's red. I can't think of a green creature that's super integral to our game plan that I need to hit. The Loyal Apprentice, red. Goblin Rabblemaster, red. There's no sense in running Summoner's Pack, in my opinion. I'm assuming that's why it was omitted from Jens's original list as well. So we could just avoid that. I think it's probably fine that we're off of it. Is this a good start? Having played Radha a bit in casual, I do wonder if it's better as a goblin deck due to the token generation that results. Not really. I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to go for. I think all she does is make mana. All she does is make mana. That's all that matters, right? So you could have an influx of anything. In this instance, we've got dorks, a couple value creatures, right? Some stacks pieces, hate pieces, like the Manglehorn, the Collector Oof, all that stuff. They make mana. So provided we're making enough to do the thing, I think we're in a really good spot. Let's get a hand that's better than this. Would that be okay? Oh, God. We're going to ignore the mulligan rule for this because I just want to get to a hand that's useful. This is okay. Okay, let's keep this. Let's do this. Jeweled Lotus. Mountain. I wish we pulled a forest. We should probably go for, we should probably use our crop rotation for a basic forest. I'm not joking. I'm pretty sure Blood Moon overwrites Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. So, yeah. We'll do this. We'll play Radha. Right? Okay. We'll swing. It's just the one creature, sadly. So we'll make, it doesn't really matter. We'll make red for Pyroblast. Right? And then she does damage. We move on with life. So let's move on with life. Okay. So we got Hellkite Charger. That's not very useful right now. Let's probably put that Thorn of Amethyst down is what I want to do. What we can do, though, is go right into the Blood Moon. Let's do this. We're going to use... God. Okay. We'll attack. We'll generate one red. We'll use this, floating that, to break the mountain. And then we'll get a forest. It's a very backwards way of doing this, I know. I'll do the snow-covered forest. We've got mana floating from the mountain, red, red, green, and then we'll cast Blood Moon. Right? And why is this good? Better to do it this way, just because when Blood Moon gets removed, this is back to being Stomping Grounds. Right? So we did that. Move on. Wow. It doesn't really matter. I prefer Spire Garden here, though. We could go... I mean, we could do the Thorn of Amethyst. We're really holding people up, but not really in a great way. We've got 4 mana on this turn, which is enough to crank out a 1-drop. Is there a really great 1-drop that is in this deck? I don't really think so. But we'll take a look. Creatures. Allosaurus Shepherd. Land of War Elves. Tinderwall. That's going to get us closer to our dude. Ragavan would be kind of dope, actually. But just only if it gives us card value. But that's on the off chance it gives us card value. I feel like Cord we should probably wait on. Although, this is not a good place to be. Like, our drawing right now, that's one thing Gruul suffers from. Like, your top deck is super relevant, and this is not drawing well at all. So I think that we will probably just go for a body here to generate a little bit more mana. Obviously, this is on the attack. 1-drop. We just looked over them. I think the most meaningful one is probably... Ah, God, this sucks. Tinderwall, maybe. Oh, no, Ragavan. Let's get the monkey. Sure. So we could do that now. Obviously, we even do this off turn. Maybe we would just do this off turn. That's fine. We'll just hold our mana, and we'll tap these things down. Oh, you know what? We need green, though. She's green. Oh, God. Blood Moon. Blood Moon ruined us. Can't even do that. Let's just do the Thorn, then. Screw it. Off the attack, that thing. Cool. Shuffle. Next turn. Reverberate? Well, you know, that's probably going to be our most meaningful spell right now because we really need to copy a tutor. Like, if someone's trying to get out of this, fine. Swing. Let's just say we get to steal someone's tutor because I want to know what we can grab. Like, this is a DT, and then I want to try another game with this. But if that's a DT, what do we grab? Not Aggravated Assault. Genuinely, it's probably Sylvan Library. Probably. Yeah, it would be. All right. Let's try this again. Not a good start. This is better. Yeah. Yeah, this is better. Okay, do we have like the Simian Spirit Guide, Elvish Spirit Guide? We might want to consider adding the spirit guides. If only to like push things like this out. Obviously, like those forms of ramp are best when you have really meaningful plays the command zone. Like using them as exile fodder for more mana for Radha for more mana is questionable. You kind of want your mana to stick. So all the dorks seem relevant to me. This is fine though. So we'll do a draw. Bleep, blup, bloop. Ragavan, pass. We'll do Stomping Grounds. It's important to know what we get off the top of our deck, but we have no way of knowing, so we're just going to generate some treasures. Okay, so we could just do Rite of Flame into Radha, right? But I think it is probably wiser to just go Rite of Flame into Toski here. Right, using the Rite of Flame. Now, when we do this, we have a draw utility online. So this is kind of relevant. Obviously, we're off of doing Radha right now, but that's fine. We can suffer this. I would rather have the draw than I would the mana right now because we're not in a state where Radha is doing anything meaningful. I mean, we could push out something with Green Sun Zenith at this point, but we'll wait. We'll wait. All right, let's attack. Let's just pretend that we get on 2 players. How nice was that? Okay. Got 1 treasure. And we get 2 draws. We don't get a land drop. Yeah. We're going to probably use this treasure here for either Green Sun Dried Arbor or Fine Horn Elf. And it could also just be the Faithless Looting. Actually, it's going to be Faithless Looting. Draw 2, draw 2 cards. Land drop. And we got to discard 2 cards. So we're going to discard the... We'll discard the Reverberate. In the Green Sun Zenith. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what we're doing. I'll explain myself in a second. I'll get a Taiga, and we'll go ahead and play the Elf. So why is this important? I see Finale of Devastation. I see the cards aligning. I want to do the Dual Caster Mage thing. This setup in hand... This is allowing me to protect the dual caster combo, provided I go for it. I do need a smidgen more mana, and I think... Let me do my math. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 with Radha. If they all attacked, this could just tap itself. So we're breaking even on mana if we cast Radha. But maybe we do that, just build up our hand, and then push a win turn 5. Or we could try to push a win on this next turn. I don't think we have enough. And Dual Caster Mage has to be copying something on the stack. So it would be this, and this wouldn't be able to cheat out Dual Caster Mage at the same time, right? I lied to you. I lied to you is what I did. It's all right. We'll move on. Oh my god, Dockside Extortionist. Now that's a lot of mana. Or it could be a lot of mana. Let me see here. Let me see here. Yeah, the Dual Caster Mage wouldn't work with this particular line of play because it needs to be instant speed to get him out. But we could get some draw in for sure. So I kind of want to do that. We'll tap out here, and then we'll swing here, here, and here. We're, again, under the assumption that everything is A-okay. We make a treasure, and we get to draw 3 cards. Is that accurate, Toski? Whenever a creature you control deals common damage to a player? Yes, it does. Okay. Lotus Petal. We could just play this as a land here. We'll assume that it's not necessary, although it could be good for clearing bodies. And then we'll also tap this and break the treasure to play Dockside Extortionist. And let's say on turn 4 that we're generating at least 6 mana off of the Dockside Extortionist. At least 6. So we've got that mana there. Now, we do have a way to go for the combat line with Court of Calling, but very obviously we're past our combat phase. So what I want to do here is just set ourselves up for success by doing a maybe finale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, crack all the treasures. We're going to ship this. So finale for 6. So we're going to pretend that this goes through like everything else has, and we're going to get a Bane of Progress. Bane of Progress is going to rip everything apart. We don't care because we just got rid of everything. And then we move on. Again, the only thing we really can't track here is what Ragavan has been exiling, and that's okay. Okay, so. And, oh, look at that Arbor Elf. Cool. We actually play the Arbor Elf if we want. Let's do that. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Am I crazy? Can we do this right now? 1, 2, 3. And do we have enough creatures? Yeah, let's just ship it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We'll do Heat Shimmer. Heat Shimmer is going to target, in this instance, so many legendaries. Dockside Extortionist, right? That makes a lot of sense. And then we've got a lot of creatures. So we'll do bloop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's too much. Don't need to do all of that. We just need to do X equals. Oh God, how much mana did I tap? I just need X equals 3 for Dual Caster Mage, right? So I cast Heat Shimmer this turn. I cast Heat Shimmer. Oh my God. Oh yeah. All right, Heat Shimmer. 1, 2, 3. Onto the Dockside Extortionist. Then we do. Oh, and I also cast this guy. That's right. Then we do Court of Calling. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That incorporates the green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's Dual Caster Mage. Okay. Now what's nice about this is if this resolves, because blam, we did this to use the Red Elemental Blast to stop the counter. If this resolves before combat, then we get Heat Shimmer, Dual Caster Mage. Dual Caster Mage will see the Heat Shimmer, copy it. We'll just keep targeting the new Heat Shimmer on Dual Caster Mage, which makes a whole army of Dual Caster Mages. And if you read the card, you'll note that Heat Shimmer gives each one of these haste. So we're able to just blow out the game with a bunch of human wizards that are 2/2s, which is pretty damn good. And should that fail, at least the Heat Shimmer copies this for a lot of treasures, and we got a Bane of Progress that's brawly. But we are out of a hand at this point. We do need to do damage with Toski to get the ball rolling again. But turn 5, that's not a bad push. Let me turn it with you guys. How was that? How did that treat you? Did that treat you well? Also, bear in mind, you could just simply do Court of Calling for your Hellkite Charger in this instance, right? Because we had Bane of Progress, Dockside Extortionist, Radha, Finehorn Elves, Ragavan, Toski, Arbor Elf, and the Hellkite Charger itself attacking. So that actually meets its threshold. So if you wanted to do Hellkite Charger, but bearing in mind, we need to have sufficient enough mana for the Court of Calling. So far as this particular line of play, the Heat Shimmer was really steering me towards doing Dual Caster. But I think that works. I think this is fine. Gruul is really tricky to balance because there's a lot going on here. There's far more than meets the eye with this particular strategy because Radha is, it seems crazy to say, but she's only generating mana. So beyond that, we're really relying on our top deck and our draws for consistency. And Toski might be a necessary evil. Hopefully it gets in there. I think that Orin Frostfang is probably a better include, but you should run both, right? All right. Brash Charger. Yeah, dorks are nice, but so is being able to rebuild a board quickly. I don't know. Having it goblin-based might be more of a casual take, though. I don't know. I don't think goblins do what Dual Caster Mage does, though. I could say that. I don't think goblins are really... I mean, if you just want to add Kiki Jiki and Combat Celebrant, that's a thing you can do, right? And that's goblin enough for me, genuinely. But this is fine. I think the way this is angled is fine. I'm not sure that this is... if this is more or less what you're looking for, Jens. We didn't really make too many cuts. Although I think it would probably be advisable to take it this route instead. I think the Hellkite Charger is a good addition to this strategy, although it is a costly one at that. But the thing is, you should be making the mana, right? You should hopefully be making the mana. But what's cool is that whenever... Let me look at this Hellkite Charger really quick. When it attacks... Maybe the Combat Celebrant makes sense again, because if you did the thing with Radha, it would give us the opportunity to cord out Hellkite Charger in the middle of combat and have it back to swing on the additional combat of the Combat Celebrant. There's a lot of weird tricks you could sort of jam in here. Like a lot of separate play lines that you can run with Grand Warlord Radha, who's 95% competitive, might I add. This is awesome, though. I like this list a lot. Have you done Nethroi yet? Also, Pat, are you stuffed today? Jeff, yes, I am. I know. Apologies. I still wanted to run this. I mean, I honestly probably should have just taken the day off, but I wanted to be here. Plus, these are just really fun for me. So I hope you still enjoyed it with me being sniffly as all hell. I agree with your general assessment of Radha herself. Just mana production, no win con or draw attached to her. And that's sort of the issue with a lot of legendaries. I mean, I really hate to say it. It's like you need, like, how is that utility to be able to re-sculpt your hand, right? Like when you have something like my Rograk and Tevesh list, to be able to just say, I'm going to mull to a hand of 5 that lets me play out Tevesh on turn 1. And if that resolves, I'm going to be in a better state than anyone at that table so far as like card quality is concerned, because I'm going to see more cards than every other player in that game on average, just because I had Tevesh down turn 1, right? So those kind of end-all be-all proactive builds for their commanders, or just the list that rely on their commanders for their draw, they're going to be more consistent because they always have that option, provided there's no Drannith Magistrate, right? And then obviously there's a handful of staple cards that just exist, like the Rhystic Study, the Mystic Remora, Dark Confidant, stuff like that. And red doesn't really have that. Even white has Esper Sentinel now, and that actually pulls a lot of weight. But red and green don't really have that utility outside of Sylvan Library, right? That's probably the only real staple draw card I can think of in green that is reliable. Other than what, you know, OK Adversary. People slam OK Adversary, which I'm still not fond of. It's tough. Like, Gruul is a tough color to play, having played a lot of Gruul commanders. So I'm glad we did Grand Warlord Radha. I think that your general approach was great. I think you can make this a Goblin deck if you want to make it a Goblin deck. I think that having Aggravated Assault and Hellkite Charger as your main wins is probably best. I think that you could probably make a case for sort of Feast and Famine. I think you could definitely make a case for sort of Fire and Ice, just because the draw and just because the damage, right? Remove the blocker, get in there. Remove the blocker, get in there every single turn. And sort of Feast and Famine, obviously, it's if you are operating at a disadvantage for not having a commander that lets you draw, then make it disadvantageous for other people to be swung at, right? Make them discard the card, untap all your lands, and then do the thing with Aggravated Assault or Hellkite Charger, right? Although the damage, you need to do the damage first. But Aggravated Assault would be good. So there might be a case for that. I don't know. Let me see here. Is there any way to protect enchantments from spells, creature effects? Just curious. Like Heroic Intervention in the first list that we looked at. I think it protects your non-land permanents or something like that. You could do that. There are a couple things to protect enchantments. In Gruul, I think it's going to be more or less like Avoid Fate. Right. Counter target instant or a spell that targets a permanent you control, or Heroic Intervention, like I just mentioned. There's a few. You just need to know what keywords to look up. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible. So yeah, there's a couple things you can do, Michael. Yeah, even in casual, when I have played her, I found myself adding more and more draw effects just to keep, yes. And that's the issue. Like, you might get to the point where you're generating so much mana and you're in excess of mana and you just got nothing to do with it. Like, when we ended that last playtest, I was hellbent. I was done. Like, I did everything I could. And that Faithless Looting was clutch, though, I have to say. Like, that was super, super useful, pulling into the Court of Calling there. But even still, it's fine. No, it's fine, buddy. We appreciate you showing up. Just make sure you take care of you. Yeah, I'm going to, now that we're closing out the show, probably just order myself something like just a soup, or see if I got anything here to make a nice warm something, because I've got a lot of work for the rest of this week that I cannot afford to be sick. So yeah, definitely gonna try to take care of myself. This is the same problem I ran into with Kodama and Rograk, emptying my hand with Kodama triggers and being like, great, now Hellbent with a ton of mana. It really happens, man. Like, it's I like the partner pairings with Tevesh because I know I always have a crutch to lean on. Like, in Arden and Tevesh that we've just built and one I want to get in paper, it's like you get to the point where you've done everything you want to do with Arden, you've done all the Voltron-y stuff you want to do, and then you could just commit to casting Tevesh and start drawing. It's like, that's beautiful. It's like, I just needed that coupled with this. It sucks that, you know, things like Timna are going to be strategically more sound in many cases, but it's just giving you the colors you need and the draw, right? Same thing with Crom, same thing with Rasios. Just play Galia. I guess, yeah. There is, I think, 2 enchantments that protect enchantments. Oh, is that what you're asking? I'm sorry. You mean like Hollowed Fountain? What are they called? There are white things that protect your enchantments. Like Sterling Grove is one of them, but that's a... I mean, those are things you could do too, but not in Radha. All right, anyway. I'm going to close this out, as I normally do, and treat myself to a nice meal. But it's been fun playing around with you guys. Obviously, tooling through these lists. I think these decks are perfectly fine where they're at. I'm really happy with where Radha ended up. And I think Nethroi has a definite strategy. It's just how quickly can you get there? And we were fortunate with the hands we saw in Nethroi, I personally think. But this was good. These both panned out exactly how I wanted. And honestly, Jen's, good job on the Radha. Like, she's in a good spot. I think it just needs a little bit more tooling and a little bit more draw utility. Maybe even like a Mask of Memory, or hell, if the OK Adversary is necessary, like anything that can get you the draw, because it's a definite thing you need. At any rate, as I do with all these videos, I like to thank our Patreon community for helping to make all of this possible. Obviously, I wouldn't be here, this particular brewmaster, if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for your deck suggestions, and of course, thank you for your patronage. I really appreciate your help here. And stay tuned next week for a cold brew that should be on Tuesday. I'll be probably working through a Stranger Things pairing. So if you want to see some of the kids in action from Stranger Things, I'm going to try to work through a partner pairing with maybe Max and something else. We'll see. I'm going to leave that to our YouTube community members, get their opinion on what they want to see. And then obviously I'll inject a little bit of my own desires. But I definitely want to build a Stranger Things list while they're still hot. But I'm excited to do that. And thanks again, guys, for joining me on these 2 Brewmaster list. These are always fun. I have such a fun time doing these. It's honestly a nice break for me. So even if I am a little under the weather, it's such a fun time. And I realize now that we're actually missing a Patreon member from this end roll. Tyler. Shout out to you, Tyler. Thank you for being a Patreon member. But guys, thanks again for joining me on this one. I've had a blast. I hope you did as well. Remember, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It would really help out these live streams. Again, my name is Patrick Marlette, and happy brewing, babies.